So checking out what's going on with Sol. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how Sol is performing against the US dollar. Then we're going to be moving over to the Sol BTC pair. And I'm going to wrap up this video with a warning signal that I'm basically going to give for all of the altcoin videos. Let's jump right into what's going on today. Now, if we start off on the weekly time frame, I want to clear up things because I really do want to make it black and white. Heiken-Ashi candles. We're clearly in a huge downtrend right now, and if we look at the volume that we're seeing right now, this is definitely nothing to play with. It doesn't seem to me that the altcoins are done going to lower price targets. Even from like the most basic Fibonacci perspective, we've long invalidated the 786. I think it is unfortunately likely that Solana and other altcoins are going to move down to lower price targets. Now, we have been having a slight little push to the upside. In my opinion, this is really going to be a short move before we do roll back down. I really just wanted to show you the weekly Heiken-Ashis before we did jump into today's analysis. I always feel like the Heiken-Ashis paint it much more black and white than on the traditional Japanese candlesticks. But what you'll notice is, you know, we've broken down. There's no other way to say what's been going on. We've got a huge bear flag. You know, we were trending. We broke down and we broke up. We didn't make it to where we previously broke down from the bear flag. We actually came up to this trend line, $47.62. If we zoom out, I believe this was the weekly candle body close over on the data back here. Yes, it was. So you can see this was, this was really your last line in the sand. Really, the 786 Fibonacci at $72 was your last line in the sand. We gave it the benefit of the doubt and said the previous all-time high at $58 would be the last line in the sand. And I can't do any more last lines in the sand. I can't say, you know, this $47 would be your last line in the sand. We backtest it and then we go up and then moon. I can't then move over and say, you know, we come down to $26 and then we just reverse to the moon. I think, unfortunately, we do have more boring, sideways, choppy action that is going to be happening over on in the markets. Now, weekly time frame and daily time frame, in terms of our momentum indicators, they are starting to subside and run out of bearish volume, but I would like to attribute this to the sideways action that we are seeing at this moment in time. But I would like to point out that we do have, you know, depending on how you want to draw this, we've got an M pattern breakdown right here. At least this is the first M that I see. You can draw it a little bit more conservative if you want to consider this to be the trend line, or you can also draw something like this, which would be a much bigger M pattern, which would once again be very valid. But the point of the matter is, you know, even if we were drawing from this mini M pattern breakdown, we've come up to it and got rejected. This was also the weekly candle bodies like we talked about back here. So it seems like we're about to roll back over. And if we come down to the lower time frames, you can see our momentum indicators are having a different tune to them because they're running out of bullish volume. And we're really not seeing much volume at all in terms of bears or bulls right now. It's pretty much what we've been seeing in the past couple of months, which is pretty sideways with the occasional, you know, weekend or week of pumping. But right now, it looks like we're about to roll over to lower price targets. I don't see... Yeah, it doesn't look like we're Wing out. It doesn't look like we're going to higher price targets. In my opinion, it is probably the time that we are going to roll back down. Now, on Solana, on the, let's see, so the EMA ribbons on the 4-hour, we've just got rejected from them. On the daily time frame, we got rejected. This is very important. We got rejected from the 13-day EMA, which is a great signal for when you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. I mean, look at this. You can see, I'm not going to go through all the data points, but you cross it at $84. We go all the way up to $143. We break below it at $120, and we don't get a breakout on this. Well, we haven't had a breakout on this yet. So I'd say the EMA ribbons paired with the 13-day EMA, they are your friend right now. The trend is your friend until the end. Don't go against the trend. At this moment in time, I am expecting lower price targets, like I said. The last time I covered Sol, I was calling for a 47% decrease, and now it's only about a 42% decrease. So USD chart hasn't changed a lot. We really don't have many more last lines of support. You know, we came down to this 1.618 already at $36. This was the 1.618 from this low up to this high, and then you extrapolate that with the or not extrapolate it, you know, you line it up and these targets reveal themselves, so 1.618 being the first one. I believe these are in the minuses, so they wouldn't have any validity anyway, but this is, you know, like once again, like I said, I really can't call this a last line in the sand, but this would be the next level that we'd be moving down to. So, you know, while some of you may disagree that we might move all the way down to $26, which is what I personally think is going to be happening, at least the next target down that we could maybe both agree on is $37, which is slightly more conservative. This would be about a 20% drop. Now, Sol BTC, we're going to wrap up this video on the Bitcoin pair, and also a warning for altcoins. It doesn't matter if this is Solana or any other altcoins that you could be trading. Once again, coming over to the weekly time frame, I don't even need to put this over into the Heikanashis to show you that we're in a massive landslide. But, you know, once again, actually, the Heikanashis do define it a lot better. You can see a couple of fake outs over on here. Switch over to the Heikanashis, much more black and white. You know, we're below the 13 EMA. Everything seems like we're going to be having lower price targets right now. If you are planning on buying Solana when you think it's bottomed, which I am a big fan of Solana, but at this moment in time I'm looking at the data and it does not look appealing to me. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're looking against the US dollar or the BTC pair, they're both getting wrecked in the short term. And very, very importantly, this is a huge warning sign. Now, drawing this on the daily, this was your candle body close, and you know, this was your last line in the sand. We can't draw this, or we had drawn it to up here at the 786 where the top of this box lines up, but this is literally, you know, that is your last line in the sand. There was no more trend lines that can hold us up if you still wanted to call Solana against Bitcoin bullish. This was the last line in the sand, and we're coming down into it now. And yes, we haven't closed the weekly yet. At this moment in time, it is only... I need to get used to this system. I've upgraded my PC, and now it's upgraded, well, quote unquote upgraded to Windows 11. And honestly, never upgrade to Windows 11. It's garbage. But it's, yeah, I don't even know how to get my calendar up. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But you know, it's, I believe it's like Wednesday or Thursday. It's terrible. Oh no, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. This is the thing, you know, I don't have a job. Crypto is my job, so I never know. Is it the weekend? Is it the weekday? I don't know. But yeah, Solana against Bitcoin. It is capitulating below the 786 Fibonacci. So I mean, that's pretty much all I want to say on the BTC pair. On the weekly time frame, zooming out to the daily time frame. Yeah, I mean, that was your last line. We've got M's all over this chart. I mean, all I see here is M's. There's no M that I see here, but here, once again, we've got a nice M pattern. And, you know, while this is only the first part of it, we may not be having another M, but, you know, these kind of little, what were they called, bunny hills, where they kind of just come up and then converge to the downside. There's a lot of emming going on right now, and it's not looking good. So in my opinion, you know, once again, this is what I was calling for the last Solana video. We were calling for Solana to drop 37% against Bitcoin down to the next price target. How far have we moved down since that video? We capitulated about 17%, so we're 17% of the way there. And we've got about, at least this is what I'm predicting, again, about another 24.5% drop down to the next 1.618 Fibonacci level. So what does this mean? It looks pretty black and white. Forget about the USD pair for a second, because, you know, the USD pair, I mean, a lot of people care the most about the USD pair. I care most about the BTC pair, and this is why. If you're investing in Solana, you're taking on a ton of extra risk than if you were just buying Bitcoin. And because you're taking on that extra risk, you're hoping for extra reward. It's all about risk to reward ratio. But if you're taking on a ton of extra risk by buying an altcoin, you at least want that altcoin to outperform Bitcoin, because if not, then you would be safer holding Bitcoin and you're basically flushing money down the toilet because it's not performing as well as Bitcoin. And if we look at how Solana is performing against Bitcoin at this moment in time, it's clearly not outperforming it. I mean, Solana is getting wrecked against Bitcoin. And yes, I am fully aware, Solana had one of the most beautiful and bullish runs up from down here. And believe me, I cannot wait to get in on Solana the next time we start a bullish rally. But right now, it does not look like the time. We're in a mass capitulation type of event, and I don't think this is going to subside anytime soon. I really think that the fuel to the fire, it is kind of just being added, and this is where I want to wrap up the video and talk about my warning sign for all altcoin holders. So like I said, wrapping up Sol BTC, I think we're going to come down another 25%, but what I want to show you is the Bitcoin dominance, and I've made multiple videos about this recently, but specifically for Solana or any altcoin, it doesn't matter what you're holding. If you're holding crypto.com, Dogecoin, Shiba, XRP, Solana, Link, it doesn't matter. If you're holding an altcoin, if you're holding anything else that isn't Bitcoin, then look at the Bitcoin dominance, because if the Bitcoin dominance is going up, this means that Bitcoin is outperforming the alts. And right now, I mean, you can see Bitcoin is down approximately 0.2%, so it's really not even moved down much. It's about break even today. But what you'll notice is, you know, barring like ADA, which is up 5% today, everything else is either break even or down 5%, down 3%, 2, 3, you know, most of these are getting slaughtered a lot harder than BTC is, and that's why we're seeing altcoins move down. Bitcoin's not doing a whole lot of anything right now while it's consolidating, but the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, and the last time the Bitcoin dominance moved up like this was coming into the end of 2018. What happened at this moment in time, December 2018? This was the start of the bear market, and basically because of this, you know, Bitcoin continued to capitulate for a very, very long period of time. It capitulated, or the Bitcoin dominance continued to push back to the upside while Bitcoin and altcoins were capitulating, but altcoins capitulated a lot harder, and that's why we saw the Bitcoin dominance move so strongly up, because Bitcoin heavily outperformed altcoins. Look at what is going on with Solana BTC right now. Are you telling me that Solana is outperforming Bitcoin? I mean, it's clearly not. So, you know, like I said, I'd much rather be a moon boy when I make these videos. I much rather have like a bullish thumbnail or bullish title in every single video. I get more views, I get more likes, I get more subs. But looking at this objectively, because integrity is something that's very important to this channel, looking at this objectively, all the altcoins are clearly getting slaughtered against Bitcoin. I mean, Solana's getting wrecked. The Bitcoin dominance is moving up. It is not the time to be in altcoins right now, in my opinion. I think now is the time to be a Bitcoin maxi, be a Bitcoin maxi for the next year, and then pivot when we see the markets have that change in momentum. Sure, I understand people want exponential gains. They don't want to wait a year. That's too long. I want moon now. I understand. I want moon now too. I want Solana moon now. When $1,000 Solana, believe me, I want it. But right now, it does not seem like it's going to happen. I mean, I do not think Solana is going to have a correction from $260 down to $40, and then it's just going to go to $1,000. I mean, in my opinion, that is absolutely ridiculous. Does that mean that Solana can't bounce? Does that mean Solana can't bounce up to these $90, $70 regions, back up to the 786 to confirm it as resistance one last time? It doesn't. Be very, very careful. These altcoins can have bounces, but look at the BTC pairs. While these altcoins are underperforming against Bitcoin, you're probably better off holding Bitcoin. So I will be letting you know on this channel when I personally do plan on picking up some Solana. Like I said, my price targets are really between about $26 to $20. And once again, if you think that's too bearish, then I probably guarantee that you weren't here in the 2018 bear market, because if you disagree with what I just said and you think Solana is already exceptionally cheap, then I can almost guarantee you weren't here in the 2018 bear market, because just when everyone thinks these altcoins are cheap, when they've dipped 90%, they dip another 90%. So it can get a lot uglier from where we are right now. Be very, very cautious. I'm a huge Solana bull. My profile pic on YouTube is a Solana NFT. My YouTube banner has Solana NFTs in it. I love Solana. I think it's a great marketplace for NFTs specifically. And I kind of struggle to say that it's better at anything else, because at this moment in time, the Solana network is basically unusable. But I do think it's going to be a good investment nonetheless. And at this moment in time, You know, it's not performing well against the USD. It's not performing against the BTC pair. Let's just call it how it is. So at this moment in time, I'm sitting on the sidelines for altcoins. Keep your eyes on the Bitcoin dominance. As this continues to move up, you're probably going to see Bitcoin once again continue to outperform Solana and the other altcoins. That's all I've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the honesty and the update. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.